Do you guys like ASMR?
No, it's horrible. It's infuriating.
I think it's so funny that it just lives on the internet and some people are obsessed with it, some people don't care. But the White House social media has started making their own versions of ASMR. I should play some for you here. This came up from the White House's official account, ASMR illegal deportation flight. And the only way to experience the course is just to listen. Being pat down before the flight. You have shackles being laid out with like soft clanking. The sounds of people walking up the steps with their.
You seem like you really like
on.
ASMR.
I mean, look, man, it's funny that this is something that the Trump White House social media team was like, do you know what would be funny if we make an ASMR loop for Twitter of people being deported? Of course, as I bet many of you can predicted, conservatives either didn't care or thought it was funny, but a lot of left-leaning people were really furious about this. Mm-hmm. We have this post from Madagascar, I guess, who said the actual White House posting, quote, ASMR of literal chains and shackles. IDK, how you even get to be as evil as this. And of course, the one, the only Destiny said, this might be the most disgusting thing I've seen tweeted so far by this administration. And that's saying a lot. Is this pearl clutching from the left, or are they right to say this was a distasteful post?
When I first saw this, first of all, I got so many tingles watching this video, so many ASMR tingles. When I first saw this, I said, okay, this is very, very edgy. And I had to think for a second, okay, are we doubling down on the meme culture? Is there an appeal to attract the younger demographic with this? But then I thought, I think there might actually be a benefit to public shaming too. If this is a deterrent for people to not come into the country illegally, then I guess I'm for it. I find it interesting that Destiny says this is the most disgusting thing that he's seen. And to me, that means the bar is very low for him, because I don't know. I've seen a lot of crazy things the past couple of years from the White House. I think about like the whole trans LGBT stuff that they were doing, where this woman was flashing his chest, and this stuff is totally normal in their eyes. So I'm not buying the fake outrage. I just think that they just don't like law and order. That's what I think. And they're just grasping for straws.
Yeah, I mean, he is being kind of restrictive here. He's saying this administration, so in the past 1 month of the Trump administration, this is the worst thing he's seen. You're right. He's completely avoiding addressing the many, many social media scandals and questionable content that went up on this account, on the White House account under Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm. I just don't understand what do you mean by disgusting? Like you can disagree with it. You can say, okay, this is just a little bit crude. It's not professional or whatever. But to say it's disgusting, no, I think it's disgusting to let millions of undocumented illegals flood the country and thinking there's going to be no repercussions for it.
If there's ever a disgusting expert, it is Destiny. That guy has seen a lot. He has done a lot of disgusting stuff. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about all of this, but I don't think his commentary is valid here.
You don't think but do you like the video? Do you think the video is distasteful when you're saying?
I don't know. I haven't really, thought about it that much, because it's just like, okay, they just released this video. A lot of the left, they're just very hyperbolic and emotional, so it's very hard to ever take them seriously. Yeah, of course, they're going to try to emotionalize everything, but I had no kind of reaction to this personally.
What does your instinct tell you about should the White House tweet something out like this?
I don't know. I gotta pontificate it about it a little bit more in order to give you more of a. I'm looking at the video now because I haven't watched it, and I know it's just ASMR. I just don't like those videos. Like,
You're anti ASMR. It's not that it's content.
yeah,
No, I agree
that's
with
just
you.
annoying.
I
It's
remember
speak up.
this video went up. I mean, it's February 18th. It went up like 3 days ago. I remember scrolling past it in part because it is ASMR and I don't really have a strong interest in it. But also it reminds me of times that I had worked for like PR companies or things like that. And you just like have to put out a certain amount of content. And they're like, oh, we're going to see if this gets a reaction. This White House, more so than any White House before it, is using social media. I mean, obviously, Nixon did not have to consider what he was going to post on Twitter. We're in a new age of public relations and interactions with media. And I think the Trump White House is actually wanting to be a little bit more edgy. They want to push the bar a little bit more. So I'm not totally surprised that they looked at this and instead of taking a maybe more like conservative route, emotionally conservative route of being like, we could upset someone, let's not post it. They were like, let's see a little bit of spice.
Yeah, I like the non kind of pandering to the left and not being kind of over concerned about them, having to rifle some feathers. So at that point, it's a good point, I think.
Yeah. What do you think the Trump administration will do if hysteria over mass deportation continues? I guess what I'm really asking is, do you think they care that much?
I don't think they do. And I think it's great that they don't, because the first time around during Trump's kind of administration, it did look like they were trying to be liked by the corporate media. And I think that was Trump's kind of biggest criticism in 2016, that he was kind of giving all the exclusives and kind of pandering in a way and acting in a way where he was trying to be welcomed and accepted by them. And I think that's the wrong approach. This approach, I think, is definitely a lot better. Wait, someone's at my door. I got to check who it is.
It's JD Vance.
Yeah, I don't think you can really negotiate with the left. I think the only thing you can do is just be consistent and stand on your beliefs and, win them over by just being consistent. You can't play middle ground with people that just want to be irrational and scream at you and call you a Nazi.
Right. And I think there is something to be said about the embrace by the Trump administration this go round of alternative media and more direct to their audience ways of communicating. I mean, even if, whether you love this video or you hate it, it wasn't vetted by Fox News. They didn't have to go through that. Especially, I don't know how much you followed it, but all of the stuff that's coming out about the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris, which Trump at the time was like, it's heavily edited.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris was like, how could you say that? And then it turns out, like, of course it was heavily edited. Having to take away the middleman there is interesting, because I think in some ways it hurts Democrats or progressive politicians, and it helps people like Donald Trump, or maybe just more authentic people overall.